Minecraft. It's one of the most popular video games of all time, enjoyed by players of all ages. The simple nature of the game and the endless possibilities make it appealing to an endless number of secondary works, namely, the creation of video content.
Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm here playing Minecraft, which is a pretty awesome game. I was turned on to it by Adam CNanners and...
Hello!
Beginning in 2012, the first generation of Minecraft Let's Players grew their own fame parallel to the game's explosion in popularity, connecting with millions of viewers around the world. With that explosion also came the creation of one of the formative YouTube groups, titled Team Crafted. Names like ASF Jerome, Deadlocks, The Bayesian Canadian, Husky Mudkips, Minecraft Universe, Sunday, and Sky Does Minecraft would become the team's most recognizable members, collaborating on hundreds of videos and building a brand around the culture of the game. With the group generating millions in revenue and being at the top of the YouTube ladder, it's likely they all knew that someday it would come to an end, with their stardom fading as viewers lost interest in their personalities and turned their gaze to newer fads. But it would be impossible to predict just how bad things would get. The story of the rise and fall of YouTube groups is one we hear over and over again in retellings on the platform. And at first, I expected the story of Team Crafted to merely be another average arc. That is what most people will tell you, after all. Instead, what I found is one of the most tragic stories in internet history, filled with eccentric characters, corrupted villains, and bizarre twists, leading to the ultimate downfall of one of the 2010's biggest gaming channels. After unraveling the web, I think it's time to finally, properly, tell the sad story of Sky Does Minecraft and Team Crafted.
Hey guys, Sky here, and I wanted to thank you all for 5 million subscribers. When I first started YouTube, I never thought I would ever get this far.
And I am Will with Sky Does Minecraft.
I never fucking once said I was the victim. I'm sick and tired.
Pedophiles, pedophiles, pedophiles. This guy is a pedophile.
They were complete dicks to us. Of course, you know what group I'm talking about.
You don't fucking tattoo integrity, strength, knowledge on your fucking body while sitting here and being like, yeah, I'm the fucking shit. I know everything. You don't know everything. No one knows everything.
That's not legal. I'm a bad father that I'm not seeing my son enough. I agree, 100%. I wish I could see more.
On January 17th, 1993, the man we know as Sky Does Minecraft and a net nobody was born to the name Adam Dahlberg. According to him, around 2008, he was extremely depressed, being relatively overweight at 320 pounds, and working a job he was sure was a relative dead end at his local Subway. But that didn't mean that there weren't greater aspirations in the back of his mind that he was trying to exercise. The Jin the Demon channel is truly a relic of a forgotten time. Centered around the game RuneScape, Adam would make Let's Plays and voice-acted skits within the game.
Once upon a time, there lived 3 ordinary people. Gizzy, Sacreroon, and Chuck. One day, Gizzy, Sacreroon, and Chuck bumped into an Easter bunny.
I'm granting you 1 wish each,
said the bunny, and with a quick twirl emote, they all have 1 wish each. The bunny disappeared.
Much of this is very much a product of its time, with the Bandicam watermark present in many amateur gaming YouTubers' vids, visible on all of his uploads. His online friends, namely Antvenom and Seto Sorcerer, made content in the same sphere, although each had a unique personality and brand of video. That being said, for all of his wishes to be a popular YouTube gamer, the conditions just weren't right. While RuneScape has a dedicated player base, it was released all the way back in 2001, and its chances of becoming the wave to carry him to success were extremely slim. Adam has also stated that, at the time, for the most part, all he really had was RuneScape. It was what he spent the majority of his days doing. At one point, he joked that as the agility of his in-game character increased, it decreased for him in the real world. What I'm saying here is that, at the time, he was very fat. Coupled with his depression, he was having a hard time. So, he decided to largely take a break from the internet to focus on his own well-being. After pushing himself to lose some weight, he managed to improve his mood overall, and manage his mental health issues in a much better way, making a return to the internet in 2011 to find that it was a much different landscape than when he had left. While a lot of things can change online in a year, the biggest difference he noted was that all of his friends he had met playing RuneScape had since moved on to a different game.
I'm like, where are all my friends? What the heck happened?
What happened was that they had discovered a new game, Minecraft. AntVenom began making Minecraft videos with his series Hunt for the Golden Apple, in which he would attempt to find the shiny fruit inside of a dungeon.
Some of you might be wondering, you've probably heard of a golden apple, but you haven't really seen one been found, or you don't know what it is. What a golden apple is, it's an apple that can restore all 10 of your hearts. And how you get a golden apple is, it is the rarest treasure you can get from a dungeon.
His ability to talk at length while playing the game and extensive knowledge of its mechanics made his uploads very appealing to viewers, drawing nearly 8,000 subscribers as of March 2011. Much like Adam, Taylor was a young guy who wanted to achieve success on the landscape, being a lifelong gamer himself. Seeing that his friend was having some fun, Adam created a new channel with a new brand dedicated to the game. Jin the Demon became Sky Does Minecraft, and with the help of Ant as his mentor, he started to post consistent content centered around the game.
Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Sky Does Minecraft. So, wow, fucking crappy ass. Fuck this shit, what the fuck? Okay, so I get the worst fucking world possible.
Things were looking up for Adam. After personal self-improvement from weight loss, he was feeling better mentally, and he moved out of his dysfunctional childhood home and into an apartment with his at-the-time girlfriend, Dawn. With a new channel and a community of online friends, he felt like he belonged again. It can only be up from here. Minecraft was quickly picking up momentum as Sky and his pals were growing their own small audiences, and the bubble was just beginning to form, with a pantheon of new faces trying to join the race to success. In more game-related terms, Minecraft was the mob spawner. If you made videos on the game, you'd probably get views. But at the time, much of this was very unfocused. Most people saw the game as just another sandbox with a new geometric aesthetic. People would build different objects and recreate their favorite retro game sprites next to their little houses. The full potential of the game hadn't quite been reached yet. That's where Sky and his pals would come in. What if instead of simply playing the game unedited, they tried to plan a story out between the different channels?
No, please don't.
Don't do it, man.
You have so much to live for. No! Are those diamonds? Get 'em! I'm going to jump. Woo!
Yeah!
Different Let's Players could become characters and personalities, building a plot for viewers to follow from episode to episode.
We could create these full-on sets in the game, and we could record them and make little skits. It would go from us playing the game and acting like the characters, which is called roleplay, and then moving into these little skits where if something was happening in the game that couldn't actually happen, we would edit it in.
Similar to what Red vs. Blue did with the Halo games a few years earlier, Sky and his pals' virtual cinematography got a decent following over the next year or so. Sky managed to grow his sub count considerably by the middle of 2012, and by the time August rolled around, he had more than 100,000 subscribers. This is where things really began to snowball. Not only was he at the forefront of a new genre, but he was also extremely consistent. Daily uploads combined with more and more people playing the game contributed to a perfect storm of success. In February of the next year, Sky reached 1 million subscribers. His rise was meteoric, passing the, at the time, #1 Minecraft content creator, and raking in more than $15,000 per month off his videos alone.
I talked to my dad, and he was looking at these numbers and thinking it was some kind of Nigerian scam. You're making how much off the internet? I was freaking out, my family was freaking out. The best thing we could think of was to get a lawyer and incorporate so I don't get slammed on taxes.
Sky was heading one of the most popular YouTube channels in the world. Just a few years prior, he was working for minimum wage and trying to satiate his depressive mood by eating fast food. Now, at just 20 years old, he was making more money than everyone he went to high school with, and all while enjoying a hobby he would have been doing regardless. Needless to say, things were going pretty well for him. Of course, while he was the biggest, he was not the only one. The original Deadlocks channel was created on February 21st, 2012, and it wasn't long before the man behind it, Tyler Ellis, found success in the Minecraft genre. Just 6 months later, he had more than 500 subscribers, more than most new channels managed to get in a year. By November, he was approaching 50,000. A few short months later, he was past triple that. A similar story is told in Minecraft Universe, or Jason. All of these people would frequently collaborate on videos, and watching uploads from around this time, it's easy to see the appeal. Just watching a few average and pretty relatable guys hanging out feels very personal.
My God, what is...
When I was 2, I pooped in the pool.
Oh no. No.
I don't remember when I was 2. I think I was on the jungle gym at one point. Anyway, so
Read the rules.
Okay, fine. Put the headset down.
They all feel like kids you could have met in high school or college and played games with. And for younger demographics, they represented their future selves becoming entertainers through a very average and typical activity. Looking at these channels' raw analytics and archived screenshots shows just how quickly all of them blew up. It must have been extremely overwhelming to go from teenagers and young adults playing games with their friends over Skype to being bona fide role models for millions of kids over the course of one calendar year. Eventually, the Minecraft map Cops and Robbers was released, being a remake of a Halo 3 minigame, in which prisoners had to escape from their policeman captor. The game allowed for a lot of entertaining banter and really brought out the personalities of whoever was playing it, not unlike how Among Us and Fall Guys have as of recent. While the games are extremely simple in concept and are merely contemporary takes on pre-existing formulas, watching some friends play them together and fuck around makes it particularly interesting to audiences. The first episode of Minecraft Cops and Robbers was posted to the Sky Does Minecraft channel on April 10th of 2013. Today, this video has almost 20 million views, and subsequent episodes would accumulate similar success.
I will hit you again. I will kill you.
I'm sorry.
I'm here with Agent Canadian, who's by himself as well.
Yeah. Let me appease you.
Oh, thank you. He's so kind.
I know I'm good from rags to riches. If you would only say you care. And oh my...
By this point, Adam, Ty, and Jason had built quite a devoted audience together, largely glued together by Adam. Wikitubia is notorious for its inaccuracies, often being laden with false or irrelevant information. Dream's page once read that I accused him of saying the N-word, when in reality, I simply wanted him to say it. Regardless, all of these people's pages have Sky listed as one of their most important assets. His channel was easily the most popular of the three, and as a result, his popularity not only benefited himself, but also his friends, who he intended to bring to the top with him. Fans fell in love with their dynamic, and would subscribe to all of the players, making it beneficial for all involved. These collaborations soon became staples of the channels, as they quickly realized how profitable they could really be. The numbers just speak for themselves here.
Hey, stars and recruits, this is Jason from Minecraft Universe, and...
Sky Does Minecraft! Woo! Oh, we're back.
Naturally, the friends eventually created a Skype chat to make it easier to record these videos, and having to think of a name for it, randomly chose Team Crafted. It was during one of these calls that Deadlocks pitched the idea of formally creating a team of Minecraft content creators. While initially skeptical, Adam reluctantly agreed. And so, the trio began to search for new members to join. The first to join the group would be Seto Sorcerer, one of Sky's old online friends from the RuneScape days. But they knew if they truly wanted to grow, they would need the help of more personalities. Awesome Sauce Films was a Let's Play channel created by a group of childhood friends. Though they managed to garner minor success working under Machinima, they began to drift apart in 2011 as each focused on their own endeavors. Two of its members, however, remained very close, namely Mitch and Jerome, the former of which rebranded to the Beijing Canadian. The duo, who had begun playing Minecraft together, started an ongoing Let's Play. Initially just playing survival, their content eventually evolved to showcase various maps and minigames. Their most successful outing, however, would be the Hunger Games series, whose first episode was uploaded in April of 2012.
So keep those nipples on ice, please. Keep them nice and chilled.
Around the time the video was posted, Mitch announced that he'd reached 50,000 subscribers. By the end of the year, that number had doubled. Mitch and Jerome finally made a name for themselves in the wider community, though received backlash from former fans who felt they'd sold out. Regardless, this new success caught the attention of Sky, and quickly, their paths began to converge. That year, Adam decided to attend PAX East with Jason and Caveman Films. It's here that they would first meet the duo. With the prospect of a content team on their mind, he asked if the two would be interested, and they were. So, throughout early 2013, the creators extensively collaborated with each other. Soon, others joined in, with names like Sunday and Husky Mudkips beginning to appear. It's not exactly clear how they all met, but what is known is that discussion occurred pretty casually amongst the friend group, because that's all it was at the time, a friend group.
It was one of those things where Jason, Ty, and Adam were all talking about it at making a team at the same time. They made their own little thing and they invited me into a call. They're like, hey man, You should be a part of our thing. And I was like, hell yeah, bro.
Reinforcing just how loose it was, Adam recruited 2 people from his real life to play with them, his former roommate, Dakota, and fiancée, Dawn. He encouraged the two to have a social media presence, with Dakota opting to use the name Kermit Plays Minecraft. They also hired a team of artists to enhance their branding, who provided them all with matching painted avatars as well as animated shorts. Videos began being uploaded daily, to which they quickly accumulated millions of views each. Those first months of that year were spent solidifying their shared audience, as one by one, each of them continued to surpass milestones. In June, Husky Mudkips reached 1 million subscribers. 1 month later, so did Sunday. Eventually, all but one of the full-time creators would reach 1 million, with the only odd one out being Seto Sorcerer. Of course, none of their growth spurts could compare with Adam's, who at the time was now surpassing the 5 million mark.
It's crazy. It's a mind-boggling number because behind every single one of those numbers is a subscriber and it's a person, and it's just so breathtaking that you guys would take the time out of your day to come and check out my channel and watch my videos. It's just, I don't know what to say other than thank you so much.
It's really hard to overstate his influence. Him randomly calling gold butter in the game was so influential that I remember most kids I played with at the time referring to gold as butter, even though most of them had never even seen Sky's videos. His stardom went so far that he even managed to appear in a Lady Gaga music video. For many of these guys, in just a few years, or even months, they'd gone from living paycheck to paycheck to signing mouse pads for giveaways. Sky's channel alone was generating 100 million views every month. The ad revenue was astronomical. It's perhaps no surprise that their interests eventually became more financial, but predictability does little to prevent consequence. That summer saw great growth for the business, but it was also at that period of time that many personal relationships began to fall apart. On June 14th of 2013, Adam announced on Twitter that he and Dawn had broken up. This came off as very abrupt, as the couple had gotten engaged less than 4 months prior. Asking viewers to respect their privacy at the time, for years the truth remained undisclosed. However, it would later be revealed that the relationship had fallen apart for quite some time. The two often got into intense shouting matches, and simply had incompatible goals for the future. In fact, Adam would later admit that the two only stayed together in those final months because he paid her to. He paid her $25,000 to continue dating him, and even purchased Dawn a car to bargain back her love. While this seemed to work for some time, something must have pushed her over the edge, and no bribery could salvage that. She subsequently deleted her online presence at his request, and attempted to quickly disappear from the public eye. Meanwhile, Adam had very little time to reminisce, as he and his associates continued operating the content machine. There was a noticeable lack of reflection on his behalf. The sudden wealth had warped his mind, as he was more concerned about it stopping than his questionable behavior. Sure, he was able to bury what had happened with Dawn successfully, as she seemed more than willing to exit his life. But the same cannot be said for one of his older friends, and it would be his treatment of him that led to a controversy which, to this day, overshadows much of the team's legacy.
So the last day in Vegas, and you looking good, Adam?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm ready for this.
He's ready. His body is ready. Body's ready. This entire hotel room was completely destroyed over the course of one night, so that's always a plus.
That fall, Team Crafted began pushing itself as a group. They launched their own website and dedicated group channel, where they revealed they'd all moved into a new house together. Their plans detailed vlogs, skits, and more active series due to the ease of recording. However, fans took notice that one of the earliest members of the group was absent. In fact, he'd been seemingly exiled, no longer appearing on any of their featured channels. This would turn out to be the aforementioned smallest creator, Seto Sorcerer, who it appeared had been completely inactive online. Seto wasn't like everyone else in the team. He preferred to create more informational videos. His humor didn't quite match up, but he enjoyed their company nonetheless. The most important distinction, however, is that he wasn't in it for the money.
The squid's the cop?
I'm right here.
It's not, but that guy.
I mentioned pretty briefly that Seto was one of Adam's old RuneScape friends, having known each other for over 4 years. Despite this, he refused to show Adam his face, or even tell him his first name. Seto wasn't just not extroverted, he was extremely introverted, and he later admitted that Team Crafted was the first real group of friends he'd ever had. You can only imagine then how distraught he became after they deliberated about how unmarketable his association was. That August, the group made plans to meet up in Las Vegas to take their first steps toward live-action content. Just days before flying out, on August 13th, Mitch initiated a group call to discuss whether or not Seto should be kicked from the group. Their justification was that because he wouldn't forfeit his name or face, his presence prevented them from exploring skits and vlogging. He also wasn't funny or popular enough to overlook those things. It's said that the only person who didn't vote him off was not Adam, but Ty, who was also the only one to remain in touch. With no forewarning whatsoever, Seto was now out of the clique. Seto fell into several depressive episodes and had trouble sleeping as he lost the only friends he had. But the one that hurt the most was Adam. He recalled that some words said in that August call cut deeper than any blade, and that he didn't even recognize Adam anymore. After all, the two had known each other for years prior to online fame. Meanwhile, the group seemed to move on without him just fine, as they spent the rest of that week hanging out together at PAX. As fans continued to clamor for an explanation, Seto finally broke his silence that December. He uploaded a now lost video explaining his side of the story and how he'd been removed from the group since August. He then stated that he was done with his channel and wanted to move on with his life. The video was only made public for 30 minutes, though was made available afterwards by a fan. The comment section of Team Crafted was subsequently filled with the hashtag #SaveSeto, as prepubescent children made horribly cringy tribute videos in hopes of cheering him up. Now, it is worth stating that Team Crafted disputed his recount of events. Mitch, who received the largest influx of hate comments, wrote a formal response to his video later that day. He claimed that they thought Seto had left on good terms, viewing him as being honorably discharged. He then argued that if he wanted to just be friends, there was no point in him officially being a part of Team Crafted. Given they were all going to live together, that doesn't make much sense. Of course, not being included meant he'd spend far less time with them. Additionally, multiple artists were in the group as well, who didn't fulfill those expectations. But really, all of that is besides the point. Some members of the group would eventually extend apologies to Seto, which he accepted. Despite the drama being officially over, however, their justification and handling of the situation left a permanent stain on their brand, as the fans became aware of their more cynical, business-minded nature. It was now December of 2013, and to Team Crafted, it seemed like the sky was the limit. And for good reason. Adam had become the 12th most subscribed to YouTuber on the entire platform, and they were all now living together. Despite viewing it as an opportunity to produce new forms of content, in reality, very little actually came from their shared household. There was a Nerf gun vlog.
Plays Minecraft.
I don't know. You should go bother Adam.
You're right.
Oh yeah, let's go bother Adam.
I'm gonna take out the big gun for this one.
You cock that thing.
I'm trying.
Oh, you get it.
Okay. Let's spare it.
Freaking a huge gun.
Let's spare. This guy does Minecraft.
Wait, this is okay. Yeah.
Oh god! Oh god! Run away! Oh god!
Which was very underwhelming. They released a series of Team Crafted shorts, which would presumably be their skits. And not only did these underperform, but they're also
Eggs. What is that in my fingernails? Maybe it's chocolate. I like chocolate. Hershey's? That's good stuff. That's not chocolate!
Wait, is that Post Malone? But their motivation to explore new avenues seemed to dry up as things began falling apart. Perhaps Seto's response was a sobering moment, or maybe Adam was too busy being in a Lady Gaga music video. Regardless, he would leave the group in March of 2014, and Ty followed soon after. Adam would later go on record to state that it wasn't personal, just business.
Team Crafted just disbanded because some of us just didn't see eye to eye. It's not that we disliked each other, it's not that we hated each other, it's not that we dislike any of the members. It's literally as simple as, yeah, I like purple, you like blue. Like that's literally it.
This, of course, would prove fatal for the project, as many of their careers relied entirely on that shared viewership.
I got to where I am by myself, and people rode on my back to get where they were, Sunday included. And I rode on Gizzy Gaza's back and stole his content to get where I was. I don't give a shit what anyone says. The dude came to me when his channel was completely dead, and he was coming back to YouTube and basically Team Crafted helped lift him back up to where he was before.
With the departure of the group's primary life force, one by one, each of the members paid their dues, ending almost as quickly as the idea was conceived. It's hard to pinpoint exactly why it all died so quickly. You could blame Mitch for facilitating its commercialization. You could even blame Adam for leaving it all. But perhaps these issues can be attributed to their dynamic becoming a business necessity. And when you don't see eye to eye on these decisions, any sentimental attachment you had to those people is pretty much thrown away. For a while, the channel remained defunct after the group disbanded. However, on June 1st, 2014, Ty uploaded a video elaborating on his thoughts of the fallout, admitting he disliked what it became. Because the account was now inactive, he proposed turning it into a community channel for smaller creators, where friends could meet together and commentate.
But I came to conclusion that no one's touching this channel, and the group isn't really a group anymore. So I thought, why waste this? Why waste this amazing opportunity that me and Sky Does Minecraft we both made together?
This video was privated an hour after it was uploaded, indicating that, behind the scenes, members rejected his philanthropy. Adam continued to grow substantially throughout early 2014, uploading 2 videos per day. He also found new creators to collaborate with, such as Basherverse and XRPMX13. Fans noticed that Dakota, Adam's old roommate, became less active online. It turns out that he was starting a family and celebrated the birth of his son later that year. He had little free time in general, nonetheless to do YouTube, so he was out of the picture. Adam still wanted real-life company, however, so he attempted to rekindle other past connections. One of these new old friendships was with a childhood pal named Starlet Zhao, of whom he was peers with all the way back in the 3rd grade. Through a mutual friend, the two reconnected, and before long, he too would become a content creator, under the alias Jinbob.
Hey, what's poppin'? My name is Jinbob. Welcome to the channel. To get things started, I have for you today a Let's Play. More specifically, a Let's Play of Minecraft. I know, original, right? Shocking.
But more importantly than that, he contacted an old high school crush named Elisa. Reconnecting through Facebook, she began venting about her recent falling out with an ex, and all of the typical drama that surrounded it. Adam offered to fly her out to Los Angeles for the weekend, an offer which she graciously accepted. Upon her arrival, Elisa attended a party that night at the former Team Crafted house. But as the guests began to leave, the two began speaking more intimately with each other, sharing their personal turmoils and life experiences. That short visit soon turned to a month due to complications with the airport, and by June, the two were publicly dating.
We're actually going to have Elisa over here do my makeup.
Reaching 10 million subscribers by the end of the year, this was when Adam's channel growth would begin to peak, marking the beginning of the end for Minecraft's first golden age on YouTube. Fans would notice the gradual loss of passion over the next 2 years. Adam kind of became a caricature of himself. It seemed like he was very fatigued with the game itself, and sought to diversify his content. That summer, he began a vlog channel titled Sky Does Things, where he would upload vlogs, challenges, and a variety of other content with Elisa. "2015 was the year that Adam planned to make several big changes in both his personal and business life. In February, he announced that the couple would be getting married, and they'd conceived a child as well. His son, Mason, would be born in September of that year, as he proclaimed that he would no longer swear on his main channel in order to become a better influence to kids. He also began more seriously pursuing business endeavors, conceptualizing what would become Sky Media. Relocating to offices in Bellevue, Washington, he began employing his friends to form a new content creation team. This took a far more professional approach than Team Crafted had, with Adam wanting to make sure his employees were taken care of, with health benefits and a 401k. The mainstay lineup for Sky Media consisted of an entirely new roster, with Jinbop, Your Pal Ross, That Guy Barney, as well as 2 of their editors. Many of the creators Adam had begun associating with were considered as well, including the aforementioned Basherverse.
I hate you so much.
That's why I was
These signs did it for me. I'm like, you can do it. I was like, okay, these signs are telling me I can.
Well, plus you go on the server like to film a lot.
Having a massive channel of his own, and beloved by his audience, Brandon seemed like the perfect fit for The Office.
It's probably one of the best games that I've played in a long time. It's just so simple.
simple and beautiful and just fun and epic and wonderful in every single way.
As is typical of regular jobs, a background check was performed on him, only to uncover that he had a criminal record. He had been charged for having an unlawful transaction with a minor. Because of this revelation, Adam distanced himself from the up-and-comer. Shortly after, the information was anonymously leaked to Drama Alert. These events would be the first dominoes, eventually leading to his very public downward spiral. I never said I was the fucking victim.
I'm sick and tired of being called a fucking rapist! I'm tired of it all! I'm tired! I just wanted to leave. I just wanted to leave my fucking room that I was in for years, and I finally did, and you fucking won't leave me alone!
Unfortunately, though Sky Media lasted longer than Team Crafted, it didn't survive much more than a year. Rather than be allowed to operate their own accounts, Adam purchased each of their channels from them. At least, this is what Ross alleged, who at the time used the name House_owner. Instead, he was given the job of managing it, which upset him as he'd created the account as a kid. He was told that if he wanted it back, he'd have to purchase it, so instead, he created the Your Pal Ross persona. His childhood relic was then transformed into Couch Potatoes, a sister channel for the organization. Sky Media didn't just achieve Team Crafted's dream of live-action content, however. It also managed to become more corporate. It's around this time that the Tube Heroes toys began being released, licensed action figures based on their in-game skins. These could be found in big-name stores across the country. It's perhaps fitting, then, that Adam subsequently attempted to reboot the friend group, this time under the name Vision Squad. This iteration was even more short-lived than the original. During one of those sessions, an argument broke out that would permanently fracture the business. Ross was roommates with both of the business editors, Tim and Max. One of them had made a vague tweet criticizing PewDiePie's content, which Adam assumed was about himself. He brought it up during recording, leading Adam to accuse Ross of being manipulated by them. This upset them so much that all three of them moved out, leaving on such bad terms that he claimed Adam threatened to bleed them dry in court if they ever spoke out. In late 2015, Jinbop also left the offices, citing creative differences. It's unknown if the drama had any impact on his decision, with Adam simply stating that Jin wanted to focus on his personal channel instead. Adam quickly fell out of touch with his former friend, unaware of his long-term plans. Then, all of a sudden, Jinbop became silent in August of that year, offering his fans no further explanation. As it turns out, almost immediately after leaving, Jin had begun speaking inappropriately with an underage fan. After receiving art from a 14-year-old, he befriended her before asking her to strip and wear lingerie. Her parents began to notice, catching the child wearing a locket with his face in it. They then called law enforcement, who began monitoring his activity. That summer, he traveled to Detroit in an attempt to meet her, only to be arrested and found guilty of enticing a minor for sex. News of this would first break that September, to which the only response Adam could muster at the time was, "Wow."
Me and Jin stopped talking ages ago, like about a year and 2-3 months ago. It's always like I get called and told like some crazy shit is going on with someone that I know.
Sky Media was just too ambitious of an idea, and for it to have longevity required more forethought, and probably more reliable people. Team Crafted should have been a wake-up call to learn from his mistakes, but instead, Adam only flew closer to the sun. Consequently, the business venture succumbed to the consequences of very hastily made relationships. This brings us to 2016, a very tumultuous time for the Sky Does Minecraft channel. By this point, Adam had devoted it to variety gaming, but the pivot hadn't gotten back much of his audience. He had dropped the family-friendly mantra he adopted when his kid was born, saying he wanted to try to go back to making uncensored content, unlike his peers. Despite this more seemingly honest approach, and a dropping of any corporate pandering, he didn't salvage much. The channel was on the decline, and it wasn't much better for his personal life. In a deleted tweet, Sky vented to his audience about how Elisa had cheated on him with another guy, which likely would have become a much bigger story initially if Keemstar hadn't been willing to forfeit its presence in a Drama Alert news video, thanks to a request from Sky himself. On September 30th, 2016, Sky posted a video to his channel informing his audience that he had spent a week in a mental hospital. Around this time, he also broke up with Elisa officially, and the two began frequently fighting on Twitter. It's one thing to have your girlfriend quietly exit the public eye. It's another to, embarrassingly, have arguments with her over your seemingly business-related Twitter account. In January of 2017, Sky said that he would be taking a 6-week hiatus from the channel to try and repair his own state of mind. Similar to what had happened when he left RuneScape more than half a decade prior, he wanted to rebuild. It seemed that, at least temporarily, things were starting to look up. In March of 2017, him and Elisa announced that they were back together, even posting videos again. On top of that, Sky reportedly received an 8-figure deal from some anonymous person or company at this time to keep making Minecraft content on his channel. This, however, wouldn't last, as he and Elisa split again, and the two began to lash out publicly at each other. Sky tweeted out,
"I wish I never met you,"
along with a barrage of other inflammatory tweets. Within these, he revealed a discovery he had made, being that she had cheated on him for a second time. It seemed like he was finally through with her.
That's the thing that kind of pissed me off, I'll be honest. Like, the thing that made me angry was the fact that a person could be putting on this mask for so long and basically be mooching off of subscribers from another person and followers from another person, and then be treating them like complete shit behind the scenes.
Adam had also grown distasteful of the Minecraft community at this point, saying that he hated people's masks, a very frequent theme after the Alessa breakup. He said it all felt too commercial and uncreative, with the genre being populated entirely by people making videos to make a buck, rather than to have a genuine connection to an audience. The Sky channel was largely dead at this point, and in July of 2017, Adam released a video signing off his Minecraft career.
Basically, I've been in this block world for so long that I feel like it's time to go explore the real world.
The Sky channel was now completely inactive, with Adam saying that he gave away all of his equipment and side accounts to some of his former employees from the business. Today, the Team Crafted channel appears to be run by some girl who merely acquired it and had nothing to do with the inception of the group. Similarly, Ross's channel was given to some young women who make vlogs or something. At this point, we also learned of a much sadder fact, being that Adam was not allowed to see his son because of his adverse relationship with the mother. I'd imagine Sky's feelings on the subject were only made worse when Alessa decided to involve herself in a petty personal drama he had with KSI, appearing in his Diss Tracks music video. Adam's struggle to gain custody of the child was very public at this point, and audiences began to sway to his side thanks to an emotional interview he did with Keemstar, where he begged to see his son.
I'm not upset at you, I'm upset at her for continuing to ruin my life when I haven't done anything to her! I haven't done shit to you! You would talk to other people, you would speak to other people. You can't disprove anything I'm fucking saying, so fucking try to do it. I have nothing to lose because the only thing that I want is my son. I gave up my channel, I gave up everything. I gave up my income, I don't care about it anymore. I just want my son. I just want my son. I want to see my son. He didn't recognize me. He didn't fucking recognize me when I visited him.
Thankfully, he did manage to eventually gain partial custody, although it has been stated that upon one of his first visits with his son, his kid didn't even recognize him. His business, however, had been largely up in the air, with him frequently going back and forth between wanting to create content and leaving entirely. He stated that he hated his past Sky-related projects, changing his channel name to Sky Does Everything and uploading consistently again. However, he eventually stopped posting yet again as of this video's creation. No new videos have been posted to his channels for 5 months. Sky had lost so much, but above all, he had finally become what he wanted: a net nobody. So, where are Team Crafted and all of Sky's former friends now? Deadlocks currently operates a new channel titled Locks, where he posts videos about Fortnite daily and has been doing so for more than a year. His original Minecraft channel appears to have been sold to Plot Twist, which posts content about pop culture and celebrities. Minecraft Universe was inactive for a year until about a month ago, when he posted a video promoting his digital and 3D art career. It appears to be a promotion for an NFT he is releasing. Husky Mudkips has posted more frequently, although is relatively inactive. His Twitter and YouTube are evidence that most of the people who once cared for his content are now gone. Bayesian Canadian, one of the largest members of the team, received some success after the team broke up. But as time dragged on, he began losing relevance approaching the end of 2020. After multiple attempts to revive his channel, he eventually gave up in early 2021, and let his fans know that he was working on a new project. Meanwhile, Jerome ASF actually posts Minecraft content to this day, and has a smaller, but loyal audience. SSundee is doing extremely well, having passed all of them in popularity due to evolving his content through different waves of game popularity. Most recently, his Among Us videos have achieved mass appeal. In 2017, Pseudo Sorcerer posted an hour-long video explaining what happened with Team Crafted and giving his reasons for leaving the online world. Today, his subscriber count is hidden, and while he does post videos from time to time, their success would seem to be reflective of a channel with a few thousand subscribers, rather than someone who was at the front lines of gaming content just a few years ago. In contrast to Sky, his old friend Ant Venom managed to successfully adapt his channel and is still heavily involved in the Minecraft community. Around 2014, he stopped growing despite him constantly uploading, freezing at 2 million subscribers. After some major struggles with YouTube, he declared a break from the internet. He made the move to focus his content less on playing games and more on their mechanics, exploring the absolute limits of Minecraft and breaking it multiple times. Since then, he's achieved critical success, reaching 3 million and managing to be a major player in the gaming space. Jinbop is currently serving time following his grooming of an underage fan, and is set to be released in 2023. In 2020, Sky started a new series titled Nostalgia Craft to reunite with some of his pals like Bayesian Canadian, Jerome, and Ant Venom. Your pal Ross also posts today to a very small audience in comparison to what it once was, similar to Mudkips. Sky has evolved a lot over the years, and today he seems to be in a much better state than when he was at the peak of all of his drama. According to a community tab post, he has a new girlfriend and apparently a new daughter, which has become his focus in the last half a year since he stopped uploading to his channels. Whether or not he will return to YouTube anytime soon and attempt to revive his channel, I can't say. Team Crafted is the tale of what it's like to be at the top. It's every creator's dream to be the most popular YouTuber, to be a part of a group who makes videos together and lives together, growing an online brand built on camaraderie and connecting with a shared audience. Unfortunately, once given the opportunity, many people are unsure of how to handle it. Sky's rise to fame led to, ultimately, greed. He threw money at his problems to fix the holes in his ship. Once that didn't work, he attempted to plug them himself. As his friends moved on to other projects, he attempted to adapt several times. At first, this made him disinterested in his fame. Eventually, he grew to hate it. Everything he built almost a decade ago now only exists in the memories of the kids who watched him. A time capsule of a bygone YouTube empire, which crumbled to the ground years ago. Well, okay, you know, that sucks, but at least we can take solace in the fact that a new wave of Minecraft channels has recently blown up, and all of them are handling their fame really well, right? Right? I genuinely love and care about all of you guys, and that's the best way I can describe it. You were like a whole bunch of kittens, and I love you. Not every creator will feel the same as me, but that's fine. I'm being genuine every time I say it. I love you. Your kittens? Yeah, you care about your kitten's dream? Yeah, buddy? Oh yeah? This is the part of the video where I say, never mind. I've been Turkey Tom, thanks for watching, and until next time, leave me alone.